Hello everyone, my name is Nagham Shehaiber and I welcome you to my presentation. In this video, I will talk about how the theme of family and relationships is presented by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare. Family and relationships are a common theme in Shakespeare's plays. Many of his plays explore the dynamic of family relationships, including parent-child relationships, sibling rivalries, and marital relationships. He addressed the issue of relationships in most of his plays, especially as pertaining to family ties, and in his tragedy plays exposed the good and the bad side of family ties, that's especially between parents and their kids. In all his tragedy plays, we have this kind of family breakup and unhappy family. Many conflicts in Shakespeare's plays often arise from misunderstandings and differences in values between a parent and a child. Let's see the example of his plays. For example, in King Lear, Lear's tragic demise takes place between Lear and Cordelia, when Cordelia refused to tell her father how much she loves him, which angers Lear and causes him to disown her. Besides this, many parent-child relationships in Shakespeare's works also involve a form of betrayal. Example, in Hamlet, we know this. Include Gertrude marrying Claudius immediately after the death of King Hamlet, which causes Hamlet to question his mother's loyalty to his father. I explained the theme in detail. I think the most common relationship is likely the father-daughter relationship. In Shakespeare's plays, this relationship is often portrayed in the form of a filial, dependent daughter and a protective, overbearing father, like Cordelia and Lear, Ophelia and Polonius, or even Desdemona and Parpantio. These relationships are centered around the daughter's obedience and loyalty to their fathers, to the extent that the daughter's worths are often based on how loyal or obedient they are to their father. When Cordelia says nothing, she is disowned. When Polonius dies, Ophelia drowns herself. When Desdemona insists on loving a man, Parpatio disapproves of. Their relationship is torn apart. To a certain extent, these depictions are characteristics of the expectations of daughters during Renaissance England, to be loyal, doting daughters and wives. The Renaissance background. In the Elizabethan era, men were regarded as the head of the family, whereas women were considered as the weaker sex, not only in terms of physical but emotional as well. And one good example that shows defiance in paternal authority is when Juliet proceeds to marry Romeo without her family knowledge. Desdemona has not only secretly eloped, but has chosen a man of a different race, Othello, a Moor, and actually her father's friend, for her husband. On discovering this, Parpatio is outraged. Shakespeare, the father of two daughters, chose to explore this relationship in his writing, of how his life reflects on his plays, and he sometimes found it difficult to be a father. Also, Shakespeare was affected by the death of his son Hamlet, who died in 1596 at the age of 11. It is said that this event influenced some of his literary work, which deals with the themes of death and mourning. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed the presentation.